All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone that taught us the truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. And the elect begins with 144,000. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. BAHASHAM is in the name. Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakwadash shares the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother Iwalumia with the GM at Chicago camp out here in Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson. And Lord, and I hope this lesson be edifying to the whole for right select, the ones in the household of faith. Once again, I hope this lesson is edifying. I'm just simply entitled this lesson, Satan will use many avenues to get you to fold, be aware, because ultimately Satan, the Most High uses Satan to ultimately test us, to try us in our everyday walk, man. And Satan will ultimately use, different avenues to get you to fold, man. Whether it be your body, whether it be your mind, bodily afflictions and things of that nature. I was just, thinking about this lesson through the spirit, meditating on it all day today, man. Because we'll go through things and we'll be caught up in the things that we go through to the point, to the point that, man, you don't realize it's a test, the things that we go through on a daily basis, man. Saying we use these different avenues to try to get us to fold, man. Because Satan knows our greatest strength and our greatest weaknesses, man. And Satan plays upon our weaknesses, man. Whatever they may be, man. You may have a problem with drinking. You may have a problem with women. Satan plays on these different things, man. And he ultimately used these things to get you to fold. With us, that has this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, man, we have the tools to fight Satan, man. But Satan will use these different avenues, to ultimately to get us to fold, man. You know. But I was just thinking about this lesson through, through the spirit, meditating all day today, because I was going through a few things myself today to the point that I was getting overwhelmed in my mind to the point, that I even had to realize, I had to take a step back, and process the situation like, damn, this is nothing but Satan, you know. Because like I said, we'd be caught up in our situation, so much that to the point that we'll forget about, this is an actual test that we're going through. But just to start it out, this is the book of Luke 22 and 31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. And right, because we're all being tested by Satan at the end of the day, man. We're all being tested in different ways, shape, forms, and fashions. Satan to play upon, your biggest weaknesses, to ultimately to get you to fold. Whether your weakness, because we all have different weaknesses, that we deal with, man. And Satan ultimately capitalizes on those different weaknesses, that he knows that you're weak at, man. Let me read that again. This is the book of Luke 20:31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. And I want to go into that word sift, which goes into the word saniazo, is G46:17. Saniazo, it says to sift, to shake in a sieve. And here's the one I wanted to get into. It says by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. Right? Because Satan will throw the door, the kitchen sink at you. Hey, even the whole house, you'll have multiple things going on at one time. That it'd be overwhelming to the man, to the point, because Satan wants, to get you to the point where you're like, damn, man, this is getting too much for me. And ultimately, what? You throw in the towel. But us that has this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the Lord gave us the blueprint of how to fight, man. And just something I was thinking about today, because I was going through it so much in the mind. This was happening, so much was going on at one time. Then I had to take a step back and realize that, damn, this is nothing but Satan. And now I realized this is nothing but a test. Because ultimately, when you realize it's nothing but a test, you be more comfortable with the situation. Because like I was saying, man, you will be caught up in a situation so much that you will ultimately forget that, damn, this is a test. Worrying, excessive stress, you will ultimately forget that this is a test, man. But I want to read this definition again. G46:17. It says saniazo. It says by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. All right, because ultimately, what? Satan has a job, man. Like we have a job. Satan has a job also, and his job is to ultimately what? To ultimately to try to overthrow us. To ultimately to throw in that towel. But let's get this, because what? Satan, ultimately came, against Yahawashi to get him, to bow. But this is let me actually get that real quick. I'm gonna get that in a blue letter. Hold on, give me 1 second. Get that Matthew's the 4th chapter. Hey man, it's definitely going to get harder, and Satan is going to come with the kitchen sink, the door, hey, the refrigerator. Hey, he's throwing the whole house at us, man. Because what, we're getting closer to the end. This is the book of Matthew 4:1. It says, and you read the headline of the blue letter Bible, it says the temptation of Yahawashi. It says Matthew's 4:1. It says, then was Yahawashi led up of the spirit. Salaki, I'm gonna start back at the top. Matthew's 4:1. It says, then was Yahawashi led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was in afterward and hungered. And when the tempter, and I want to go into that word tempter, man, because this is Satan's job ultimately, man, to get us to fold. So what? Satan will come with these different avenues to ultimately to get us to fold to the point that it overwhelms you to the point that you give up. But I want to go into that word tempter. What's that? Pariazo? Let me see real quick.
G 3985
Pariazo. It says to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endeavor. It says to try. It says make trial of. It says test for the purpose of asserting his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. It says, I'm gonna go down a little bit. It says to tempt, to try, to prove. And right, that's Satan's job. It's ultimately to try us, man. By throwing these different things at us, man. Because like I said, Satan knows, our biggest weaknesses in this thing, man. Satan knows what you deal with on a daily basis. Satan knows what he plays upon your thoughts, because ultimately it starts with the mind, man. Satan ultimately starts, to play tricks on your mind. But back in that Matthew's, this is the book of Matthew's 4 and verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. Right. So ultimately, Satan came to Yahweh at his weakest point, man, after he was what? Fasting, because that's ultimately what Satan does. He comes to you at your most weakest and most, your most how can I say it? He comes to you at your most down state, to not use, so many words. It says verse 3, it says, in the tempter, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. So Yahawashi came at Satan, back at Satan with the scriptures, man. Because what? The Lord gave us tools on how to ultimately fight Satan, man. Because Satan will what? Play tricks on your mind and things like that. What? Every time when Satan come with these different tricks, man, we combat him with what? The scriptures, as Yahawashi was doing. And it says, verse 5, it says, then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and set of him on a pinnacle of the temple and saith unto him, if thou be the son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee. And it says, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. It says, Yahawashi said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. Hey, once again, Yahawashi coming up against Satan with the scriptures, man. And what the Lord gave us the biggest tool to ultimately utilize when we battling against Satan, man. Because like I said, Satan will come at you with everything, man. He'll play tricks on your mind, and things like that. He'll ultimately, wicked thoughts, he'll put in your head, to ultimately for you to basically fold to that. Because like I said, hey, it starts with the mind, man. But ultimately when Satan comes with these different tricks, we have to combat Satan with the scriptures, man. Because like I said, as elder brothers always say, starting with our, elders and apostles on down, man, it gets harder towards the end, man. That's when Satan, Satan is coming at his hardest right now. Brothers are going through it. Brothers is going through bodily afflictions. I'm currently under the weather at the moment. Satan, hey, was coming at me today hard. Hey, we going through these different things, man. Hey, brothers going through financial problems. Hey, Satan is coming hard. Hey, Satan, throwing doubt demons around, you know, and this is what Satan is ultimately doing, man. He's coming, he's playing these different avenues to get us to fold, you know. But ultimately, what as YAHAWASHI did, man, we have the scriptures to ultimately combat Satan. And it says, verse 8, it says again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain and show him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. It says, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. It says, then said Yahushua to him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So once again, Yahushua, battling Satan with the scriptures, man. You know, and like I said, we have a lifeline, man. We pray, we fast, things of that nature to ultimately to combat Satan, man. And that's our lifeline, man. When Satan comes up against us, man, hey, we fast, we pray, man. Hey, even more now, more so than ever, man. When Satan is coming Satan is coming harder than he has ever had before. And it says, that was pretty much the point. Verse 11 also, it says, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Right. So after the whole ordeal was done, you had the angels ultimately, came down to comfort Yahushua, But like I was saying, that's why the scriptures say, pray without ceasing, because prayer and fasting is very important, in this walk, man, because every day, Satan throws something at us, man. Hey, it could be, certain things here and there. It can be everything at one time, because some things that happen to you that don't make no sense. You will be caught up in a situation not even knowing that. Damn, hey, it's Satan. But this is let me grab this. We always grab it because, like I said, Satan is coming in, with the kitchen sink, the refrigerator, hey, even the whole house, right? This is the book of Sirach, better known as Ecclesiasticus 2:1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right. So when we ultimately come to serve Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, we're going to be tested. Hey, our character is going to be tested. We're going to be put through that fire. And ultimately, what the Most High uses Satan to do that, because that's his job. His job is to ultimately to try to overthrow our faith, man. As I read in that Luke, the 23rd chapter, as he was, Yahushua was talking to Peter, Satan desired to sift you as wheat, but, really understanding that, man, it makes, the battle that much more easy because we know, what we're ultimately battling, man. Because like I mentioned before at the start of the lesson, we could be caught up in our situation so much that we'll forget about, us being, us being in that test, man. Because ultimately the things that we go through, man, it's nothing but a test, Yahweh Shemel Shah sends Satan, our way to ultimately test us, man. To how you gonna, handle certain situations, how you gonna, in this situation that you're put in, how you gonna, how's your thinking gonna be like, how's you gonna process this situation, all those things, are part of the testing process, man. But this is the book of Sirach 2:1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Right. So be ready to go through these different things, man. It says, verse 2, it says, set thy heart, your mind, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Right. Because, when you go through these different things, you're immediately, wanted to know how can I get out this situation? How can I get out this situation? And ultimately, you're trying to deliver yourself, man. You'll wind up in a worse situation, And it says, verse 3, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So the different things that we're going through, man, the different things that Satan is throwing at us, man, we have to be patient, and patient means to suffer, man. Because ultimately, what the Lord is going to deliver us out of these said situations, because these situations are ultimately needed to ultimately to grow our character, man. You might be overwhelmed in the mind, this happening all in the same day, something, that I went through today, man, just being overwhelmed in the mind. But ultimately, I just had to take a step back and just realize damn, this is a test, And like I said, understanding that, man, it makes you feel, more at ease, knowing that Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to deal, man, but let's continue in that Sirach. Sirach 2:4 says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient with our change to a lower state. All right, it says, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So when you're going through these different trials and tribulations, man, hey, take it cheerfully, man. Because ultimately, what in due time, the Lord is going to raise you up. It says to be patient with our change to a lower state, right? Because we're constantly going to be put in and out of that fire, man. The Lord is going to use Satan to always test us, in said situations, man. And ultimately, when these things happen, we have to be patient when these things happen, man, because these things are going to pass, man. But we have to be patient, man, not taking things into our own hands, not overthinking the situation, not being stressed or overwhelmed in the mind because, things don't seem right at the moment, you know. And it says, verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? The trials and tribulations, man. And it's Satan is, ultimately, the Most High brings Satan ultimately upon us to ultimately what? To test us, man. To see what we're going to do in this situation. And it's ultimately all to build our character up, and these things are needed, man. Especially in the times that we're coming into, man. Because being in this truth, man, you have to have a strong mind, man. Because, well, like I said, hey, a lot of these battles be mental, hey, because Satan attacks the mind, man. But he be putting wicked thoughts into your head, things of that nature. But as YAHAWASHI did, man, he battled Satan with the scriptures. When Satan came up, with the nonsense, YAHAWASHI battled Satan with the scriptures. Let me get this. The book of James 4:7. James 4:7 says, submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh. It says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Right. YAHAWASHI gave us the tools of how to ultimately deal with Satan, man. Pray fast, call upon his name, man. And ultimately, if we keep doing that, man, hey, eventually Satan is going to flee, man. But we have to constantly, do these things, man. Be in the scriptures, be in the spirit, things of that nature, man. Hey, Satan is going to flee, man. Because like I said, man, hey, we're put in and out of that fire, man. Hey, Satan will come with these different avenues, man. But as I read that Sirach, the 2nd chapter, it says, be patient with our change to a lower state, because when things begin to happen, with instantly, we try to make a move, but how to deliver ourselves out of this situation. Hey, not knowing, man, that Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us out of this situation, man. We just have to be patient, man, and really understand that, hey, this is nothing but a test, man. Hey, be aware, as I, going into the title of the lesson, man. Hey, same with all these different avenues at you, be aware, because like I said, we'd be so caught up in a situation, not even knowing, man, this is a whole test that we're a part of, I want to get one more, because all of us is, experiencing, I always mention, I did a lesson, what was that, last year, beginning of last year, something like that. We're all spiritual Joes, man. We're going to be tested, man, but this is the book of Job 2. And I might just get to the point. It says, let me see. I'm gonna start at the top. We got time. This is the book of Job 2:1. It says, again, there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh. It says, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord Yahweh. Because ultimately, what? The Lord controls the right and the left hand side, man. It says, verse 2, it says, Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. It says, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Right? Because in a sense, we're not in a sense, but we're all spiritual Jobs, man. If we serve, as I read that Sirach, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse, if we come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Because ultimately what? The Most High ultimately gives Satan's orders to ultimately test us in, different categories, man. And all this is from up high, man, from Yahweh, man. Giving Satan these orders to ultimately to what? To test us, Because Satan, hey, Satan, doesn't, act on his own, man. He gets the, he ultimately is given the order from Yahweh. And it says, verse 3 says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and abhorreth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man have will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Right? Because ultimately, another thing, Satan ultimately, not Satan, but the Most High Yahweh ultimately sends Satan our way to ultimately to test us, to ultimately to test our character, to see how we will act in a certain situation. Because this scripture, going into the rock, it says this. Let me grab it. Let me grab it real quick. It says the trial of his man is in his reasoning. Yep, got that on deck. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach 27:5. It says the furnace proveth the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. Because ultimately, when we're put through these said situations, the Most High, Yahweh Shah wants to know what you're going to do in these said situations. You're going to bitch up, tuck your tail between your legs, and run, or is you going to basically to trust in Him? The trial of man is in his reasoning, man. The Lord is going to see, wants to see how you're going to act in this, in said situations that you're put through. You're going to trust in your how about your shot. You're going to tuck your, your tail between your legs and run. Let's go back to that Job. I'm gonna finish it off in that Job. Actually, also, it says the Lord said unto Satan, "Hast thou considered my servant Job?" Verse 3, Job 2:3. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, "Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, and one that feareth Yahweh and sure of evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause." And Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, yea, and all that a man have will he give for his life." It says, "But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face." And the Lord said unto Satan, "Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life." Meaning what? Ultimately, don't kill him, but to put him through said situations. And ultimately, if you read the book of Job, man, you will understand the things that Job went through, man. And ultimately, in the end, he kept his integrity despite all the things that he was put through, man. Hey, and Satan through all that, the kitchen table, the refrigerator, the whole house at Job, man. But he ultimately came out on the other side, man. Because what? He didn't lose his integrity. He kept the faith in How about YAHAWASHI, man? You know? But just going into this, to this lesson, man, Satan will use different avenues to ultimately to get you to fold, man. But we can't fold, man. The Lord gave us the blueprint to ultimately to fight this damn devil, man. To fight Satan. We have the blueprint, man. We just have to use it. But just something I wanted to jump into, man. Just something I was meditating on at work today. Hey, Satan would definitely come at you with different avenues, man. So just be aware of that, man. When you're going through certain situations, just realize, man, it's only a test, man. To see, because the Most High, wants to see what you're going to do in these said situations. And it's ultimately to build our characters up at the end of the day, man. But Lord, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to end up by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that taught us the truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord, I hope this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and the Baba Ball.